Today, I am super excited to share the amazing sequel to the哪吒movie we talked about before. This is the story of哪吒 2. Our new story starts right where the last movie ended.哪吒and his dragon friend, Aobing, held hands to fight the giant heavenly lightning storm. They saved their town, but their physical bodies were completely destroyed. Luckily, their kind teacher, Tai, used a magical treasure called the seven-colored lotus to save their souls. Now, the big task is to build them new bodies. The people of Chentangwan are so grateful to哪吒and Aobing. To help, everyone follows Tai's instructions to gather special lotus roots from the seven-colored lotus. They grind them down and mix them with water to make a stretchy, magical lotus clay. Tai puts哪吒and Aobing's souls into two big pieces of this magical clay, and the clay slowly begins to shape into their real human bodies. But just as Aobing's new body is almost finished, something terrible happens. Remember the bad immortal, Shen? He swims back to the underwater dragon palace and tells Aobing's father, the Eastern Dragon King, that their plan failed. The Dragon King thinks his beloved son, Aobing, is dead. He is so sad and angry. Then, his sister, the Western Dragon King, who has a magical power to travel through different spaces, whispers a bad idea into his ear. She convinces him to flatten the whole town of Chentangwan for revenge. Shun leads the dragon army to attack the town. At this dangerous moment, Aobing's new body is still not stable, but he doesn't care about his own safety. He jumps out to block the attacks from the other dragon kings to protect哪吒, whose soul is still forming inside the seven-colored lotus. Because of this, Aobing's new body breaks apart and disappears. Even worse, the seven-colored lotus has used up all its energy making two bodies. It withers and dies, so it cannot make another body for Aobing anymore. Tai thinks hard and comes up with a temporary plan. He lets Aobing's soul attach to哪吒' body, so they share one single body. Then, Tai tells哪吒that he must travel to the heavenly palace to take a special exam to become an immortal. If哪吒passes the exam, he will win a prize called the Heavenly Juice. This magical juice can restore the seven-colored lotus's power so they can make a new body for Aobing. So,哪吒and Aobing start their big journey together with Tai. Because哪吒has the wild power of the demon pill, his dark energy might show up and reveal his secret identity when he fights. So, Tai suggests that Aobing should control哪吒' body during the exam, using his gentle spirit pearl energy. The exam is not easy at all, but it is very interesting. First, they go to a place called Muddy Hill and defeat a group of mole monsters who are just living like normal, peaceful villagers. Next, they have to catch a group of monsters who are working really hard to practice magic. Surprisingly, the leader of these monsters is actually Shen's father. Meanwhile, back at the ocean, the Eastern Dragon King discovers that his son Aobing is actually alive, so he orders his army to stop attacking the town. But the four Dragon Kings do not agree with each other. The Western, Southern, and Northern Dragon Kings are very angry. Long ago, the Eastern Dragon King surrendered to heaven, which trapped all the dragons and sea monsters in a scorching underwater prison to suffer. At the same time, there is an old immortal in the heavenly palace named Wuliang. On the outside, Wuliang looks like a nice, kind god, but he is actually a bad person who wants to destroy all monsters. Wuliang decides to attack Chentangwan and blame the dragons for it. Seeing this, the other three Dragon Kings decide to betray the Eastern Dragon King. They join Wuliang's side and start hurting the innocent people of Chentangwan. Eventually, the terrible news reaches哪吒during his journey.哪吒rushes back to his hometown, but he only finds his mother's helmet.哪吒is furious. He misunderstands and thinks the Eastern Dragon King ordered the attack to kill his parents. Even though he is super angry, he remembers that Aobing is his best friend. He still promises to finish the very last exam to get the heavenly juice and save Aobing's soul. Neza flies to a giant mountain and easily defeats a funny, rock monster lady who loves beauty. He successfully gets the magical heavenly juice, but right after that, Neza gives the juice and Aobing's soul to Tai. He chooses to leave them behind and joins Wuliang's monster-catching team all by himself, rushing to the underwater dragon palace to fight the dragons. Aobing cannot catch up with Neza, so he stays in the town. There, he discovers the real truth. He finds out that Neza's parents are actually alive, because Shun and the sea monsters secretly helped them escape. Tai uses the heavenly juice to quickly rebuild Aobing's body using the lotus clay. Now that Aobing is whole again, he and Neza's parents hurry to the Dragon Palace to stop the war. At the Dragon Palace, Neza is already fighting fiercely with the Eastern Dragon King. Both of them are completely misled. Neza thinks the Dragon King killed his parents, and the Dragon King thinks Neza destroyed Aobing's soul. They fight harder and harder. In the end, Neza defeats the Eastern Dragon King and knocks him into Wuliang's giant magical pot. This giant pot is terrible. Wuliang uses it to melt all the captured monsters into magic pills. When the gods eat these pills, their powers grow stronger. This is the evil secret of Wuliang. He catches every monster he can find, even the good ones who never did anything wrong, just to make himself more powerful. Just at that moment, Aobing, Neza's parents, and Tai arrive. Neza finally hears the truth from his mom and dad. He realizes he made a big mistake and misunderstood the dragons. He vows to help Aobing rescue the dragon clan. Inside the giant pot, the Eastern Dragon King questions the other three Dragon Kings. He is shocked to find out that they betrayed him. The Western Dragon King uses her special space travel magic to take herself and the Northern and Southern Dragon Kings out of the pot, leaving the Eastern Dragon King behind to join Wuliang. Neza and Aobing team up to fight the three bad Dragon Kings in a crazy battle. But Wuliang is very sneaky. He had a bad trick ready all along. When Neza passed his exam earlier, Wuliang already knew Neza was the demon boy. When he gave Neza the immortal blessing, he secretly placed a heart-piercing curse inside him. Suddenly, the curse activates. Both Neza and Aobing cannot move at all, and they both fall into the giant, hot magic pot. Now, everyone is trapped inside the giant pot. Because the hot fire inside the pot comes from the same magic as Neza's demon pill, the flames cannot hurt him at all. Seeing this, the evil Wuliang shows Neza a terrible, dark pill that can destroy someone's soul forever. He tells Neza, "If you eat this bad pill, I will let your parents live." Neza's mother, even though she is badly hurt, screams and refuses to let her son do it. But tragically, Neza's mother passes away right in front of him. Heartbroken and deeply saddened by his mother's death, Neza's love and anger explode. He uses all his power to break his own heart-piercing curse, and at the same time, he destroys the curse on Aobing too. With the curse finally gone, everyone trapped inside the pot decides to forget their old fights. The sea monsters, the dragon clan, Neza, and Aobing all join hands. Together, they combine their powers to break the giant pot from the inside. A massive, epic war between monsters and gods begins. Together, Neza and Aobing use their amazing team power to break Wuliang's shield of eternal youth. Seeing that he is losing, the scared Wuliang runs away with his team. After the battle, the Eastern Dragon King plans to take the Dragon Clan away to hide from the world forever. But he looks at his son, Aobing, and sees how much Albing wants to fight side by side with Neza. The Dragon King realizes something important. He used to think that following heaven's rules and becoming a god was the only right way to live, but he was wrong. He looks at his son and encourages him to follow his own heart and choose his own path. In the end, Albing happily walks back to stand next to Neza. Together, the two best friends smile and prepare to face the world, ready to create their own new rules and their own bright future. The story of Neza 2 teaches us a very important lesson. We should never judge others just by how they look on the outside. True goodness and badness do not depend on who you are, but on what you do and what is in your heart. Even a bright, shining god can make bad choices, and a scary-looking monster can be the most trusted friend who saves you in times of danger. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.